I want to seize this opportunity to thank members of the Nigerian media for the effective coverage of the activities, programs, and policies of government thus far. And we want to implore you to do more so that Nigerians will get to know about what government is doing. We also want to assure you of our continuous commitment to ensure that all activities and programs of government that you need to know will continue to be made available to you so that Nigerians will know what government is doing. I have a number of ministers here with me today and the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service. To my extreme right, of course, is the Honorable Minister of Interior, Mr. Olabumi Ojo. Next to him is the Chair of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Mr. Zacchaeus Adedeji. To my immediate right is my regular panelist here, the Honorable Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi. On my immediate left is the Honorable Minister of Health and the Coordinating Minister of Social Welfare, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate. And next to him is the Honorable Minister of State for Labor. And on my extreme left is the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. A number of issues were discussed here today at the Federal Executive Council. I will want to call on each of the ministers to address those areas as it directly affects their portfolios. Let me first, before I call on any minister, call on Mr. Zach Adedeji because of the importance of the deliberation. There is a new information that affects the petroleum sector that Mr. Zach Adedeji will talk about. Mr. Zach.
Thank you, gentlemen of the press and my seniors, the honorable ministers. Today at Federal Executive Council meeting, there was a memo prepared by Mr. President, which is to promote the trade of crude oil within local refineries and Nigeria Petroleum Company, which is NNPC, to deal in our local currency. In attitude of Mr. President to actually think out of box to solve a Nigeria problem and actually to localize the solution to Nigeria problem. He has approved through the council that effective immediately that NNPC gets engaged with local refineries, and we are starting that with Dangote Refinery, that the sales of crude oil to Dangote Refinery will be denominated in Naira, and also the sales of refined products from Dangote Refinery to marketer and distributors also should be conducted in Naira. And what does this mean to our economy? One, the pressure on foreign exchange rates today will be reduced. Today, you may be aware that we spend roughly 30 to 40% of our foreign exchange today on importation of PMS that we consume. And in monetary terms, monthly, we spend roughly $660 million in these exercise. And if you annualize that, that one will give us $7.92 billion pressure that we have. With this approval today through FEC, led by Mr. President, this has reduced by minimum of 90%, because what you have today will be this transaction is now done in our local currency, not only with Dangote Refinery, for all local refineries, for all our local consumption. And this one will actually stabilize the price, pump price. This one also will make the economic predictability a reality, because we will no longer rely on the fluctuation that happens in Forex. This is an innovation to solving our problem as a country today. Just to be specific and just read part of the benefit to the media. Number one, which is major out of it, is the reduction in foreign exchange pressure. As the existing process that we have today, we utilize $660 million per month, totally $7.9 billion annually. With the new approval that we have now, this will reduce to minimum, to the maximum of $50 million per month, which is annualized, will be only 600 million. This is total reduction of 94%. And in term, this is saving of 7.32 billion. This will also reduce finance cost, which today stands at $79 million when you consider opening of the letter of credit between those local refineries and what happened today. And also, as a pilot, the Council has approved that a settlement bank, which in this instance is Afri-Exim, should be the lead arranger. That will be the settlement bank, at least today, between NNPC and Dangote Refinery. So this is a major innovation in solving Nigeria problem permanently. Not only that we will have more employment, and we will definitely now be in charge of one of the mainstays of our economy as a country. So I congratulate the council member, congratulate Mr. President, and also congratulate the operators, both the NNPC, Dangote Refinery, and also the lead arranger, because the kudos should go to the president of Afri-Exim Bank, Professor Orama, for this initiative, because these are the people that work behind the scene to make sure that what we witnessed today happened. So once again, I thank you, and I will open for questions in case there are other clarifications, because one of the major directives of Mr. President and the Council in general is that Afri-Exim lead the advisory work of structuring and arranging this initiative with the Associated Trade Finance Facility in collaboration with Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited, and Federal Ministry of Finance and other critical agencies. Thank you, and if there is any question, I will take.
Sure, there will be questions, but in our tradition, we go around, ministers will do their briefing before questions are taken. Let me at this point bring in the Honorable Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, to also brief you on some of those decisions and approvals he has gotten for the work sector. But before I go that, two of the Honorable Ministers are here. The Honorable Minister of Culture, Arts and Creative Economy, Barrister Hannatu Musa, is here. The Honorable Minister of State, Police Affairs, Haja Iman, is also here. Thank you. Honorable Minister.
Thank you. Before I talk on the FEC approval, it's important to give an information on Abuja to Kaduna Zaria Kano project. Let me announce that on Saturday we got the 3 contractors back to site, and that is the first section, 38 kilometers by 2, that Dangote is doing on tax credit with high-tech construction. It's going to be on concrete pavement. And then the second segment is on Jolo-Beja. Beja has been on that route, but to have it completed within 12 months, as directed by Mr. President, we had to dismember it. So that 82 kilometer by 2 is being done on asphalt by Jolo-Beja. And then the last 17.6 kilometer is being done by Bua on concrete pavements. Let me also announce that the critical sections of East West Road is being tackled now. Vehicles are freely moving, with the help of the contractor, Setraco. And so you're aware that on 10th of July, FEC stepped down the number of memos of Ministry of Works because of funding. But today, FEC approved that some of the major contracts within the economic corridor, we could engage the contractors to speed up construction while we agree on milestone payment and a scheduled payment within a certain period. So going forward, FEC had to, give approval to the following projects. The first one is rehabilitation of Abiokute Iboro, Elaro Road in Ogun State. It's a contract sum of 57 billion, approved by FEC today. The second one is the road from Mubi to Meduguri Road, Section 3. The contract is approved for a total sum of 89 billion, and this is an NPC project. It's being reviewed and approved for 89 total contract sum.
But what government is doing is to ensure that while there is this right for you to protest, your right will also end where someone else's own begin. Therefore, while you are thinking of protesting, government is appealing to you first to shelve it, because there's a great likelihood that this protest may be hijacked and may turn violent by unscrupulous elements, and Nigeria will not be good for it. Of course, we know that people are saying that there is no intention for violence in this, but our history has shown that there's the possibility that this protest can be hijacked and could turn violent. Once again, before I open the floor for questions, it is an appeal again that the federal government is making to ensure that as government is making effort to satisfy the demands of Nigerians in several respects, in healthcare, in agriculture, in the provision of infrastructure, in ensuring that our youth, young population go to school, and that they also get employed when they finish. And even before they do that, the social security system is being put out there so that no one is left behind. So all this coming together, of course, it takes time to for it to come full circle, but there's this plea, please, no need for this protest. I know we are going to come back to that in the question and answer session, but I will want the Honorable Minister of Interior, who is on the high table here, to also lend his voice before I open the floor for questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Information. Honorable Ministers, dear colleagues, members of the press. Let me, first of all, state clearly that most of the points as articulated during the Federal Executive Council with respect to the protest, the Honorable Minister of Information has done adequate justice to it. And our position is that President Tinubu deserves to be analyzed. It deserves to be credited with the gains in the last 13 months. We know purely clearly that this is a president that is just about 13 months old and a cabinet that is 11 months old. And in these key moments, we need to clearly remind ourselves of key institutional and foundational gains that this particular administration has been able to bring to fore. And if there is one decision or one thing this administration has done is to cure Nigeria of long-term problems. It's not just today. The issue of fuel subsidy that the administration removed has been a lingering crisis. And today, with the decision of the Federal Executive Council of today, by promoting local trade of crude oil and refined petroleum products in Naira, then finally, I think the biggest elephant inhibiting or negating against the development of the energy sector has just been removed. What this means basically is that just as we know, for any energy producing country, when I say energy, I mean crude producing, the wealth of the nation, the employment opportunities of the nation, the dynamism of the economic tendencies of the nation revolves around the midstream and the downstream. And that's what has been absent over a long period of time in Nigeria. That has affected industrialization drive of the country. And part of it has to do with this non-parity and non-alignment of foreign exchange tendencies. But with the decision of Mr. President today, I want to speak as a young man, as a young Nigerian, as a youth. I feel so proud because I know that the forces that had hitherto held down the generation of my fathers, the generations before us, has been removed. Today, industries will come to Nigeria, refineries will come to Nigeria, and Nigeria will not just be energy sufficient, but Nigeria will end up being a net exporter of refined product. So this, you can't get a better environment for industrialization than this. And of course, our youths will be employed. What we used to have is a scenario where in the petroleum sector, apart from the upstream, our youths, people working in the downstream were usually petrol attendants. But with this new policy of government, it means that we will now have people working as engineers within the midstream and the downstream, the refinery. So we are upgrading the skill set of our people, and we are no longer going to be exporting the skills. Rather, we will be exporting products that will increase our GDP and foreign direct investment. And I have to also say this, all these investments are possible because of the unification of the exchange rate. It means there's predictability of Forex. What that means basically is that people are now free to bring in their money, knowing fully well that they can predict what the exchange rate will be. And of course, the foreign reserve has increased. So basically, we don't have to be spending money that we don't have, using foreign reserve to guide against the Naira. And these are big elephants that the president has taken up. And also, about the protest, we realized that the president is not interested in using Panadol for cancer solution. The president is interested in treating cancer with solutions that are desirable, not just for temporary relief, but for permanent solutions. We said, number one, we look at the issue of local government autonomy. This president has been so bold, audacious, to have taken decisions that no president in the history of this country has dared to take. Number one, the issue of autonomy. For the first time, local governments, the closest tier of government to the people, will be receiving their money. Therefore, development can go closer to the people. That was an audacious move by the president. That was not a political move. That was a move by a statesman. He's been able to do that. Issue, as I said earlier, the unification of the exchange rate can increase foreign direct investment. That president has done that. The third one, obviously, is the issue of the subsidy. Removal of the subsidy, opening the space, and now complementing it with the policy approved today. that will enable the liberalization and the opening of the energy sector space. This president has done this. So, and of course, the student loan, as the Honorable Minister has spoken about. And when you see what the Minister of Health spoke about, I want to congratulate the President and the Minister of Health, because we know what dialysis is about. We know how important. Dialysis to somebody with kidney issue is like oxygen to a man. It's a necessity. This government is touching every nerve, is touching all the points, dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. So we believe that this is not bad governance. So the issue of protest against bad governance is actually, to me, not it's not properly directed, because this is not bad governance. If issue of subsidy removal, if